Hello students, welcome to the online classes of high school English. Students, today I am going to start English poetry, poem 2, The Psalm of Life, composed by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. H.W. Longfellow. He was an American poet and educator, and he was also the first American to translate Dante's. Dante is a writer also. Dante's famous work, Divine Comedy, and he was the first American very popular poet of New England. New England meaning America. And he was born on 27 February 1807 at Portland, and he died on 24th March 1882. His famous works, Paul Revere's Ride, The Song of Hiawatha, and Evangeline. He was a great poet of America, and he was called the fireside poet also. This poem was composed when his wife died, and he was in depression. So I think that he composed this poem to encourage himself, and through this poem the poet wants to give us a message, and the message is hope and encouragement. We should hope in our life, and we should be encouraged by this poem. The Psalm of Life. The Psalm of Life meaning the song of life, devotional song of life. There are 9 stanzas in this poem, and the rhyming scheme A-B, A-B. Rhyming words, first line, the last word of first line has the similar sound of the last word of third line, and the second line, last word, has the similar sound of the last word of fourth line. And in this poem, the poet says that life is a reality, not a dream. While everybody says that life is nothing, life is only a show, only a dull thing and empty thing, but the writer says that life is not empty vessel, it is very useful if we are active in our life. There may be so many difficulties, so many problems in our life, but we should face all the difficulties with courage. And every stanza has 4 lines. First of all, I recite the poem, and you should also recite the poem silently, and then I will explain the poem in Hindi and English, in both languages, for the audience. For the major number of the audience are from UP board, so I have to use mother tongue also to explain the poem. There will be one passage, one stanza given in the exam, and there will be 2 questions, and these are comprehension questions from the poem, and the central idea or the 4 lines of the poem. There will be 3 marks for this. So in all you will get 7 marks from the poem. So it is very important to get good marks, and you will get enjoyment also to recite the poem, and it gives us message also. So, I am going to start reading the text, and open your books, or I will paste the lines on the board also. First stanza. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers and things are not what they seem. Tell me not, मुझे मत बताओ, in mournful numbers in sad songs, मुझे दुख भरे गीतों के माध्यम से ये मत बताओ, life is but an empty dream, जीवन एक empty, खाली, useless dream, सपने की तरह है. According to writer, the life is not empty dream, it is not unreal, but according to writer, according to poet, the life is full of energy and it is a real thing. For the soul is dead that slumbers. If it means soul is dead, अगर आत्मा मृत हो गई, all of you know that soul is immortal, it never dies. So the poet says that soul is dead, meaning if we are inactive, अगर हम निष्क्रिय हैं तो हमारी आत्मा समझिए एक मृत के समान है. That slumbers, और हमारी जो सोल है वो केवल slumber, sleep, सो सकती है for a while, for a short time, and things are not what they seem. और जो हमें दिखाई दे रहा है संसार में, वो जैसी हमें चीज़ें दिखाई देती हैं ऐसा नहीं होता. Everything may be different which we see in the world. जो हमें दिखाई दे रही हैं, it is not in real life. There is no reality in our life. In these lines, the poet says that he does not want to hear, he does not like the sad songs and sad poetry in life, and he discards the idea that our life is an empty or useless thing or a dream, but according to the poet, the life is not meaningless, it is meaningful. It has some definite goal also. So, in this way, the first stanza is completed, and you should give answer also. I will give you some comprehension questions and I will give you stanza also. Now, I am going to start the second stanza. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Very simple language. The poet is saying that life is real. As you know, in the first stanza also, writer is of the view that life is not a dream, it is a real. And in this stanza also, the poet says that life is real, life is actual, जीवन वास्तविक है, जीवन real है. Life is earnest and it is serious also, it has a serious aim, and the grave is not its goal. Grave, the vault or burial place where dead body is buried, it is called grave. And to die, or a grave, when we die in Christian religion, when a person dies, so he is buried in a grave. Poet says that our life goal, the purpose of our life is not only to die. Dust thou art, dust thou art, our body is made of 5 elements, and one of the 5 elements is the dust, mitti. People say that our body is made of dust, mitti se bane hain, and after death we shall mix in the dust also. Dust thou art, I am telling you, the thou is the word in ancient English, thou meaning you. The poet has used some ancient words also. Thou and thy mean your, and thee, thee means you, object. The poet says that dust thou art, to dust returnest. मिट्टी से तुम बने हो और मिट्टी में ही वापस लौट जाओगे. Our body will mix into the dust after death. Was not spoken of the soul. ये सोल के बारे में, हमारी आत्मा के बारे में ये बात नहीं कही गई है. क्या बात? That our body will mix in the dust, but our soul will not mix in dust because the soul never dies. Soul is immortal. Soul is immortal and it will never die. The rhyming words are nest and returnest and goal and soul. The rhyming words. Rhyming words of the stanza are nest and returnest. Are nest rhyming with returnest. Returnest and goal rhyming with soul. Yes, the same sound. Earnest, returnest, goal, soul. These are rhyming words. And if you know the rhyming words in 12th classes, 11th classes, you will know the rhyming scheme also, because the rhyming scheme is based on the rhyming words. So it is very important for you to understand. I think that you have understood the stanza very well, and now I am going to start the third stanza. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is a destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow finds us farther than today. Not enjoyment and not sorrow. Enjoyment, happiness, khushi, joy, and sorrow, dukh, woe. The poet says that the end or purpose of our life is not happiness or sorrow, but to act. Our destined end or our definite aim is to act, to work, to be active in our life, that each tomorrow finds us farther than today, so that we can achieve more than we achieve today. In future, we will get a great success if we are active, if we do work in our life. Because in our holy book Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna has preached that the result of our karma, our action will be good. If we do good, we shall get good. And in this stanza also, the rhyming words sorrow, tomorrow, and way, today. In this stanza, the poet says that enjoyment and sorrows are not the aim of life, which are decided in advance. Our aim of life is not predestined in our life. We should neither do much enjoyment, and we should waste our time feeling sorrow. So, we should not be sorrowful in our life. To stay active, we should do so many good works in our life, so that people will remember us for our good deeds. The great men give us so many examples to follow them. And the next stanza, fourth stanza. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. Art is long. Art meaning the creation. In simple words, the art is long. Art meaning the creation of the God. God has created whole the universe, and in this stanza, I think that art meaning the knowledge. the knowledge is very wide and time is fleeting. Time is fleeting, fleeting meaning passing away quickly, running away quickly. Time and tide wait for none. So poet says that time waits for none. Time is running and the life is very long and the knowledge is also very wide. We should achieve knowledge in our life gradually, and although our hearts are stout meaning strong and brave, fearless. We have a strong and fearless heart, still like muffled drums. But right, poet says that our heart, due to the growing age, our heart beating are very slow and they are like muffled drum. Drum एक ढोल होता है, अगर हम उसके ऊपर कपड़ा डाल दें तो द साउंड विल नॉट बी, नहीं होगी इतनी तेज़ कि हम उसे सुन सके, इनऑडिबल वॉइस हो जाएगी, कम सुनेगा, लो वॉइस हमें आएगी, उसकी लो साउंड होगी. आर बीटिंग, अगर हम हमारी जो हृदय की बीट्स हैं, जो धड़कनें हैं, हार्ट बीट्स, वो इतनी स्लो हैं तो इट सीम्स दैट ए क्लॉथ, a drum is covered with cloth and the sound is slow. Funeral marches to the grave and gradually we are going to the grave, to the death. Everybody must die one day and death will come to all of us certainly. So the poet says that time waits for none and we should not waste our time. We should use a single moment of time. I think that in these lines the poet explains the importance of time. So you should also know the real importance of time and you should not waste your time in useless talks and useless works. The rhyming words also fleeting and beating and brave and grave. Brave, grave and fleeting and beating. The next stanza, fifth stanza. Fifth stanza is also important, very, very important. It is very important for board exams also. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Poet has used figures of speech also in the lines. Every stanza he has used simile or metaphor figure of speech, and in this line, in the world's broad field of battle, metaphor, the good use of metaphor, and in the bivouac of life also the metaphor used, and be not like dumb, as like so are used in the line. So there is the figure of speech simile, simile upma alankar and metaphor रूपक अलंकार. In the world's broad field of battle, संसार किसकी तरह है? बैटल फील्ड की तरह है. तो we are in the world, the world is like a battlefield. We are fighting one another in the world without any aim. Aimlessly we are fighting to others. And in the world's broad field of battle, like, the world is like a battlefield in the bivouac of life. And our life is a temporary camping place. Temporary camping place. There is a tent and in which we are living and it is not protective. इस पता ही नहीं हम आज हैं और अभी after a while we shall die. Nobody knows. Be not like dumb. मत बनो dumb. गूंगे मत बनो किसकी तरह? Driven cattle. एक जानवर की तरह, एनिमल्स की तरह, खदेड़े गए जानवर की तरह आप don't be like an animal, because there is a big difference between an animal and human being has a brain, he can think, he can express his feelings through the language, but animals has not a brain like the man. So you should not be dumb, you should not be inactive, you should not be like an animal. Be a hero in the strife, struggle, संघर्ष, डिफ़िकल्टीज़ में हमेशा कैसे बनो, हीरो की तरह, एक नायक बनकर रहो. तो दिस स्टेंजा इज़ वेरी डिडक्टिव, वेरी moral giving, lesson giving, and the poet says that the life is like a battlefield and our life is like a temporary camping place, and we should not be like an animal, like a driven animal. We should be hero in the strife. We should face the difficulties. We should face the difficulties in our life, and then we shall become a hero in strife, and we should be successful in our life. The rhyming words are battle, cattle, and life, strife. The poet compares the life to a battlefield and the life compared to a temporary camping place. Next stanza, sixth stanza. Trust no future, however pleasant, let the dead past bury its dead, act in the living present, hearts within and God overhead. The poet says that, क्या कहता है poet? Trust no future, भविष्य पर कभी विश्वास मत करो. Future is not ours, future is not faithful. भविष्य का किसने देखा है? Who knows about future? It is nobody is definite or certain to his future, his or her future. However pleasant, हालांकि we all of us are happy to think that our future will be bright, we shall get this, but in actual, how much we get in our life? Let the dead past bury its dead. और जो past है, in future के लिए poet क्या कहता है कि future जो है वो it may be pleasant, it may be full of happiness because it is our thinking only, it is not real, and past is not also ours. जो चला गया, जो बीत गया सो बीत गया, that cannot be brought again in our life. बीता हुआ समय कभी नहीं आता. The time lost never returns. So the poet says that we should act, we should be active, we should work in every condition in our life, act in the present, act in the living present. And the poet says that the present is lively, it is full of energy, it is full of hope, it is full of encouragement. So heart within and God overhead. Poet says that सर के ऊपर क्या है? गॉड, भगवान. हमेशा गॉड का हाथ हमारे सर पर रहे, एंड हार्ट विद इन, और हमारे अंदर जो हमारा हृदय है, वी हैव अ कंसाइंस, अंतरात्मा है, एंड वी शुड फॉलो द वॉइस ऑफ अ कंसाइंस. ऑलवेज फॉलो द वॉइस ऑफ इनर सोल, एंड we should be active also. I think that this stanza also gives a lesson which was given in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. कर्म किए जाओ, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. In this stanza also the rhyming words pleasant and present and dead, head. The next stanza, seventh stanza. Lives of great men all reminds us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Lives of great men all reminds us, जो महान लोग हैं, जो examples of great men reminds us, हमेशा हमें याद दिलाते रहते हैं, we can make our lives sublime, कि how can we make our lives, how we can make our lives great and sublime. कैसे हम नोबल बनाए जीवन को, हम कैसे अच्छा. एवरीबडी फॉलोज द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ ग्रेट मैन ऑफ आवर कंट्री, and from time to time there are so many great men have taken birth in India. India is the land of great persons, great men, and in your present time also there are so many great persons like our Prime Minister, our Chief Minister, and your teachers and your district magistrate and so many people in the world. We should follow their example and their doings we should follow always. So lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, कि हम कैसे अपने जीवन को उत्कृष्ट बना सकते हैं, कैसे नोबल बना सकते हैं, ये हम अपने ग्रेट पर्सन्स को फॉलो करके ही पा सकते हैं. एंड डिपार्टिंग, और जाते हुए, लीव बिहाइंड अस, जब वो चले जाते हैं तो अपने पीछे छोड़ जाते हैं फुटप्रिंट्स ऑन द सैंड्स ऑफ टाइम, समय रूपी रेत पर. देयर इज़ वेरी नाइस एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मेटाफर आल्सो. तो जीवन रूपी रेत पर वो अपने पैरों के निशान छोड़ जाते हैं. तो दिस स्टैंजा आल्सो गिव्स द लेसन दैट वी शुड फॉलो द गुड एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ आवर forefathers or our great persons who are living in the world. The rhyming words also us, and sublime time. I think that there are only two words, sublime and time, rhyming together. The stanza 8th, footprints that perhaps another sailing or life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother seeing shall take hurt again. In this stanza also writer says that, the poet says that footprints, जो पैरों के निशान हैं, किनके, जो चले गए ग्रेट मैन या जो हैं भी और वो आगे बढ़ चुके हैं, उनके पैरों के निशान, that perhaps another sailing over life's solemn main, जो आज हमारे अन्य ब्रदर्स हैं, अन्य भाई बहन हैं, अन्य ह्यूमन बीइंग हैं, वो सब जिनका जीवन रूपी, आगे बताया, अ फॉरलोर्न एंड शिपरैक ब्रदर, जो टूटे हुए, हारे हुए जो हमारे भाई बहन हैं इस संसार में, उन सब के लिए हमारे फुटप्रिंट्स भी उनके काम आएंगे. इफ़ वी फॉलो द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ आवर ग्रेट पर्सन्स, तो अनदर आल्सो शुड फॉलो आवर example also. We should do great work, then the coming generation will follow us. Seeing shall take hurt again. और इसीलिए वो कहते हैं कि वो भी, उनके अंदर भी एक साहस पैदा होगा हमारे एग्जाम्पल से. और इसमें भी द राइमिंग वर्ड्स आर अनदर, ब्रदर, मेन, अगेन. एंड द लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट stanza of the poem, let us then be up and doing with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. This is the example of the action theory, karma theory. Poet says that let us then, in सब के बाद, after all this, all the stanzas, after reciting, after explaining the stanzas, this stanza is the gist, is the soul of the whole poem. The poet says that let us then, आओ तब, be up, stand up and doing with a heart for any fate. With a heart any fate meaning there may be any result, we may fail or pass, we may get success or failure in our life. So we should be hopeful. With a hope we should do work in our life, still achieving, हमेशा अचीविंग करते रहें, प्राप्त करते रहें, still pursuing, हमेशा पीछा करते रहें, किसका, our goal. We should pursue our goal, we should chase our goal or aim in our life, learn to labor and to wait. And we should learn only to work hard. We should not care for result. I think that if we do good, if we do best, we should get good also in our life. Then this stanza teaches us that we should learn to labor, we should hard work in our life and to wait for result. आपका भी रिजल्ट आने वाला है. and I think that you are waiting anxiously for your result also. Students, now I am giving you your homework also, and I am telling you how you shall write the question answers from the stanza. The stanza is that, let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. There is very simple stanza, and the question number 1, what do we learn from the stanza? हम इस स्टेंजा से क्या सीखते हैं? आंसर, वी शुड लर्न टू वर्क हार्ड कंटिन्यूसली. हमें क्या करना सीखना चाहिए? हार्ड वर्क करना, कंटिन्यूसली निरंतर, एंड टू हैव पेशेंस और धैर्य रखना. हम 2 चीज़ें सीखते हैं इस स्टेंजा में, लर्न टू लेबर एंड टू वेट. टू वेट मीनिंग वी शुड हैव पेशेंस, एंड देन वी शैल गेट सक्सेस, और तभी हम सफलता प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. राइमिंग वर्ड्स आर doing, pursuing and fate, wait. And I will give you 1 or 2 stanzas for homework also. In the same way, you can write question answers easily, and you will get 4 marks for this question. The question will be, read the स्टेंजा को पढ़ो एंड आंसर द क्वेश्चंस गिवन बिलो, और इन प्रश्नों का उत्तर दो. एंड यू शुड लर्न 4 लाइन ऑफ एनी पोएम. जैसे मैंने लिखी है ये, बट इसमें क्वेश्चन पेपर में नहीं आनी चाहिए वो, क्योंकि अगर क्वेश्चन पेपर की लाइन लिख दी तो यू विल गेट नथिंग, कोई आपको मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे. तो आप किसी और पोएम की 4 लाइन याद करेंगे. और आई एडवाइज यू दैट यू शुड लर्न 8 लाइन ऑफ द पोएम. अगर कोई सी 4 लाइन आ गई तो आप अगली 4 लाइन वहाँ पर लिख सकते हो, एंड यू विल गेट 3 मार्क्स. एक भी मार्क्स नहीं कटेगा आपका अगर आप इस तरह से करेंगे. इफ़ यू फील एनी डिफ़िकल्टी, आस्क मी इन कमेंट बॉक्स. थैंक यू.